Hey guys, and welcome back into my single track mind. And today, very excitingly, we're starting a new series of short videos, which we are calling
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Buenos dias.
Oh God!
So first things first, this is not an unboxing video, okay? They are staggeringly dull. It's a semi-unboxing video. It's got an element of that in it, but the main purpose of this is that later on this summer, I'm going to be undertaking a major adventure by bike, as you will see very soon. Now, in preparation for that, I have been researching the hell out of what the best products are to achieve my goals, and I'm buying lots of interesting stuff, and I want you guys to see it because a lot of it's going to be kind of cutting edge cool stuff that people want to know about. Secondly, people often ask, literally what is in the box when you order this thing. And there are some products which I'm ordering where I see a lot of discussions about that. So I want you to see literally what is in the box, and I'll explain to you what it's for and why I have ordered it. Like I say, these are not freebies. These are things which I've paid for out of my own pocket. There's been some great companies out there who have given me a little bit of assistance, but nonetheless, I have still paid for all this stuff. All right. So without further ado, let's get on and open the first one. Let's see what's in the box. So today we are actually unboxing a big bit of tech, which I'm going to need. And this is an Insta360 X5 Action Camera. Now, there's other stuff in the box as well. This was my order. So I'll just take the various things out of the box so that you can see what I ordered. And we will then tidy them away and you can look at each one in a bit more detail. But this was the haul. Now, I am going to be, like I say, doing quite a big journey very soon, and I need to be able to document what I'm doing so I can tell you guys about it. This also has usefulness beyond that as well. Now, didn't get a discount on any of this stuff. I just ordered it like any regular Joe. There was a sale on, and a hot tip which I can give you about ordering stuff from Insta360 is I discovered that their website would accept more than one discount code. So go figure. So what we've got here is we've got the camera itself. This is a freebie. This is an additional selfie stick. I'll talk more about those in a second. This is an Insta360 Mic Air, which works with both this and also in the future will be used when I'm talking to you guys using this camera, and a lens replacement kit. So like I say, Insta360 Action Cam. Now they describe it as 8K. That's a bit of a fib because what they mean is it's 4K but has two lenses. But we will forgive them that. Now, in here we have a nice carry case. We have a selfie stick. We have a box of user manuals. Never seen a box of user manuals before. And we have a battery case. Now, this is kind of the core of things. Okay, the user manual we don't really need to get into. Not the most exciting thing to be discussing, but why? I'll show you why there's a selfie stick in a second, actually. Let's just get this open. And you can see that inside here, we have a whole bunch more goodies. Now, in here, there is the camera itself. The camera, as you can see, has a lens guard on it at the moment, which just pops off. There is a pack of lens guards, and I will explain to you in a moment why I don't think you might want those. And here is the utility fast charge case. We also have a soft case for the camera to live in, which obviously is literally just a little sculpted neoprene holder just to stop it getting scratched. Seems like a smart little bit of kit. Also in here we have another optional extra, which is the memory card. Obviously you need a memory card, doesn't come with one as standard. This one is a 512 gig memory card, which seems enormous. I remember when memory cards used to be like a few megabytes. I must be old. Anyway, shush. and a USB-C to USB-C cable for charging and data transfer and that kind of stuff. And obviously the case itself. So the case itself is actually really nice. It's got a lot of pockets and bits and bobs in it where you can stow stuff away. There's also a second case, by the way. I may as well just get this out of the way now. This, again, was another freebie on the Insta360 website when I ordered, because I ordered it directly from them, because I shopped around and actually their prices on their site were the best I could find. Has a shoulder strap in it. It's a very rudimentary case. To be honest with you, it's very cheap. I can see why that was free. I may find some kind of use for it, but the use for it will not be keeping this camera in it. The camera itself is, as you can see, quite an interesting form factor. It's not the shape of your standard action cameras. And to some people that is off-putting. However, there's a reason for it. And once you start understanding that reason, it starts to make a lot more sense, trust me. So I looked at a lot of camera options. As a mountain biker, I've used a lot of cameras. I've used GoPros going right back to the first generation. We were sponsored by a company called Drift for a while as well. Drift made quite cool cameras. Again, they had a weird form factor. Theirs were not dissimilar to this, but the lens was on the tip and you could rotate it. So they kind of mounted like a little missile. The camera, so people look at this and go, well, that's no good for mounting on a helmet, is it? And actually, no, it's not really. You can, and I've had people out that I've guided who have used Insta360s on the tops of their helmets, but that's obviously going to stick up preposterously and you're going to probably end up breaking your neck on any passing tree. I have seen videos of people with them mounted this way as well, which is interesting. So maybe you have to give that a go. That, however, you can mount on a chesty, so you can get a chest mount for it. There are also a variety of bike mounts. It has wildly good stabilization on it. Yeah, basically, a lot of people look at this and dismiss it because of the shape of it, and you shouldn't. And I'll tell you why. So I looked at standard action cameras. I looked at Insta360's own standard action cameras as well, because they don't just make 360 cameras, they make things that look a lot like GoPro form factor, traditional, with just one lens, little oblong box, square box, and off you go. This doesn't do that. It's not designed to do that. What you have here is you have two cameras. So there's a camera on each side. Each one of those is filming 180 degrees with a very wide field of vision. It's then got some really clever electronics inside it that stop it looking all fish-eyed unless you want it to. And what that does is basically 360 each side, sorry, a 180 camera each side gives you a 360 total vision. So the field of vision on it is enormous. And because of the fact that the software stitches these two images together, it effectively renders the camera itself completely invisible. So you don't see the body of the camera in the image. Also, when you attach the selfie stick to it, it effectively then, so this obviously extends like any other selfie stick does. Basically, again, the selfie stick is within the width of the lenses. That means that when it stitches the two images together, the selfie stick also becomes invisible. So it's clever stuff. And okay, like you think selfie sticks are sort of cheesy things that you see tourists taking photos of themselves in tourist hotspots. But the reason for that is that you can shoot with this camera. So say you are using it handheld. If I'm holding it and walking along filming, basically, instead of it looking, if you hold it carefully anyway, instead of it looking like you're holding a selfie stick out in front of yourself, what it does is, because it deletes the selfie stick, effectively it looks like you've got a little drone following you. And that allows you to be incredibly creative. And the creativity is what made me choose this camera system. Because there are obviously, like any camera, any action camera, a wide variety of mounts that you can use. So you can get bike mounts, you can get handlebar mounts, you can get a very interesting mount, which I will be getting, which mounts off the back of the bike, and you can basically Once it's mounted on the back of the bike, it can be mounted effectively up high behind you, or it can even be mounted off to one side next to you. And again, because this doesn't exist in the camera's field of vision, what that does is it means that if you are shooting with the camera off to the side of you, it looks like someone is driving alongside you in a vehicle filming you, which is super, super clever. If it's mounted up high behind you, again, because of the field of vision, it looks like a drone is following you. So you can do a lot of stuff. Now, those things are brilliant, but what was it that made me choose this over a standard action camera? The big thing was the fact that I can mount this, let's say I'm mounting it on my bars, right? Because I'm going to be spending a lot of time on the bike. I will explain this soon. But let's say it's mounted on the bars and I'm shooting myself talking to the camera. That's great. So you see people doing that, like they'll have their GoPro mounted on their bars and they're talking down to it and it's pointing back up towards them. But let's say you are riding along and you're talking and something sort of appears in front of you and you think, I'd like to shoot forwards now. If you're shooting with a GoPro mounted on a mount on your bars, what you then have to do is you then have to move the camera obviously upwards because it's going to be pointing, otherwise it would be pointing at the ground, and turn it round. So if you turn it round, it end up pointing at the ground, so you need to straighten the mount. So you've moved the mount, you've taken the camera off, you've turned it round, and now you're pointing in the right direction. So there's a lot of faffing. With this, because it's shooting 360 degrees whenever you're shooting, basically, if it's mounted on the bars, I can be talking to it, I can forget about it, I see something I want to shoot that's maybe over there somewhere, and I just start recording again. I don't have to think about where the camera is actually shooting. It will instantly just capture everything around it, and in post I can go, oh yeah, I want to look over there. So there's a possible downside to that, which is that you've got to think about what it was you were shooting, so I may have to come up with some sort of system to remind myself where the camera was supposed to be looking if there's something specific. But yeah, it lets you just capture everything all the time. You have to be a little bit careful about where the edge of the camera is, because obviously there's a digital stitch happening. So if, for example, I was shooting and the camera was side on to me and I'm trying to talk to it, I would end up with the stitch down the middle of my face, which some people might say is an improvement. There are other 360 cameras on the market. The reason I've chosen this involves something we'll talk about in a minute. But there's the other one. Basically, you've got 2 or 3 market leaders, one of which is GoPro. And the GoPro gets extremely hot. It also is terrible in low light conditions, and it is god awful in the dark. You film at night and it's awful. This has great low light capability. The other reason, we will move on to one of the other boxes now, which is the replacement lens kit. Now this camera has a replaceable lens. Basically, inside this box, apart from the instructions, you have a little doohickey. If we can get it out, there you go, little doohickey, which literally goes onto the lens, and you can unscrew the lens off the front of the camera if you scratch it and replace it literally at the trail side or the roadside. You can't do that so easily with the GoPro. You can do it, but it's a bit cumbersome. The other brands on the market, a lot of them you can't replace the lenses at all, and you may even have to send them off to have them repaired, which is a nightmare. So yeah, if I scratch a lens, my trip isn't ruined. I can just unscrew the lens at the side of the road, pop on a new one, and off we go again. This little box contains the lens. The lens itself has a little sticky bit on it, so you can literally like position it without touching it. It also keeps it kind of protected in the box as well. And there is another one as well. So there's 2 replacement lenses in there. This is a little puffer, which is for obviously blowing dust off the lens before you change it. And the instructions. So the contents of the replacement lens kit, very straightforward. But to me, that's a pretty major positive to this camera. Now this is the invisible selfie stick tripod. This is a really cool add-on. So this again is a tripod, a selfie stick. It's just over 1 meter long, so you can use it as a regular selfie stick. It's a bit chunkier. It's, I think from what I can see, a little bit stiffer than this one is as well, so a little bit less prone to flapping around. But the big selling point of this for me is you press the button on the bottom and it opens up and converts instantly into a tripod. So you stick your camera on the top of the tripod. Again, because it's a 360 camera, you don't have to overly think about the positioning, but you can slap that down by the side of the road or by the side of the trail, and you can start it shooting. And not only can you capture people coming towards the camera, because of the way that this works, in post, you can then edit it so that the camera pans and follows the riders past and as they head off down the trail and continue on their way. So effectively you're getting a cameraman in a box. You can also set it up, I may use this in the workshop, you can set it up to track a subject as well. So in the same way as a drone does. So I could set this up in the workshop on its tripod, shooting me working on a bike, tell it to track me, and it will basically then effectively pan backwards and forwards depending on where I go to. That's pretty smart. You can shoot with obviously both lenses to get the 360. You can also shoot with a single lens, so you don't have to shoot 360 all the time. You can simply shoot like a traditional action camera anyway. What doesn't make sense are these lens guards. These actually mount onto the camera to protect the lenses. However, I've seen that they can introduce artifacts to what you're shooting. So you start getting strange reflections and sort of little light patterns appearing in the shot. With the fact that the lenses are replaceable anyway, these seem a little surplus to requirements to me. So I don't know whether I'll be using those. Then we move on to this. This is the utility fast charge case. This is a little doohickey that you basically stick your batteries into charge. They literally just push in and clip into place, and then it shows that they are charged or not, as you can see with the green light. You put them in the charge case, and there's a little pop-out USB-C, so you can literally just plug that in and just charge on the go. So that's really cool as well. On the back, you've got a little slot to keep memory cards. So yeah, I've got a second battery and a dual charging case. So that is a very cool little piece of kit. There's not much to be said about that. It didn't even come in a box, it just came packaged in amongst the rest of it. So this is a Insta360 Mic Air. Now, this is quite a cool little piece of kit, and ultimately it's going to replace the mic that I'm speaking to you on probably. This is in this little rubberized carry case, and in here we have a variety of bits and bobs. The main things that we have are the microphone and the sender unit. Now, basically the mic will actually connect direct to the camera without any gubbins whatsoever, so they wirelessly connect. However, this little USB-C adapter allows me to plug it into the camera that I'm speaking to you on now, in the same way as this one has a similar sort of adapter. However, as you can see, the form factor of this thing is teeny tiny, and it comes with a little button which you put inside here, a little magnetic clip, little button, and it just sticks onto your lapel like so. Also comes with a little rabbit's foot, wind protector buff jobby. There's also a little clip-on as well, so you can just clip it to your lapel. That's the wrong side of the magnet because it's pushing it away. If you ever went to primary school, yep. So you can just clip it to your lapel with one of those. There is also a lanyard, so you can hang it around your neck and attach it around your neck. And then finally, there's a little charging dock here, which also quite cool. The little charging dock itself is also magnetic. So basically you position it roughly right and it slots into place and it can't come off its charging dock, which when you're on the move, that is quite a cool little feature. So yeah, there's quite a lot in the Mic Air itself. That's quite a cool little piece of kit. So like I said, that's not part of the package. I wanted to upgrade the microphone, but also wanted something that would work with the camera. So obviously this was a no-brainer. So anyway, that's basically what is in the box for the day. I've explained to you sort of why I've chosen this over and above the competition. It's not a cheap piece of kit. I won't kind of I'll give an up-to-date price on screen in a minute, but I picked this up in a sale and saved quite a lot of money. So if you time it right, you can actually save quite a lot on them. I'm now going to go away and get the software updated on this thing so that I can start using it. But for today, that was what was in the box. Bit of a nerdy one, this one. There's some more practical things coming up quite soon as well. But yeah, there you go. That is what you get inside an Insta360 X5 box. And also what you get inside the Insta360 Mic Air box and the replacement lens kit. So yeah, that's several things all at once. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give us a like. Going to be doing a lot more of these, so follow as well, because I'll be talking more about this kind of stuff in future videos. But for the time being, I will see you shortly, and look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon.